Shalom. I'm back sharing again from the book Remnant Love, and I'm walking through the section on what love does. And we're taking a look at how love moves and relearning and renewing and restoring our vision of what that looks like. So, the last section I shared was Does Love Hurt? Today, I'm going to be talking about love heals. Love heals. Past encounters of misuse, abuse, and neglect may cause us to hold back on giving and being open to receiving love. Right? Our past encounters of abuse, misuse, neglect may cause us to hold back on giving and being open to receiving love. Right? Sometimes we hold back on giving love. We hold ourselves back because we don't want to go through the same thing again. And sometimes we block from even receiving it from people because we don't trust it. Right? So it says that how do we recover and continue to endure in love when we have a type of what I call love PTSD, right? And we're walking with people who also have love PTSD, right? So what does that mean? Love PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, is when you are triggered by something, right? You're triggered because of a trauma that you've gone through. When something comes, when something happens that kind of reminds you of that situation, you're triggered, right? And it can sometimes cause you to respond as if you're in that initial situation, right? So I just use the term love PTSD because we've been traumatized. We've been traumatized with love, things that we call love, like I talked about last time, things that we have mislabeled sometimes as love. But various situations we've been through will cause us to have a place where we're kind of triggered, and we just kind of will run away from situations because the first sight of something that looks familiar, we're out of there, right? Now let me separate that from the wisdom that comes from our experiences, because we learn to identify unhealthy things, right? And when we're in abusive situations specifically, and when you see something that resembles that, you should run, right? So we have to be able to discern and understand, okay, these are signs of an abusive person. I should not engage, right? Stop. Don't pass go, right? That is wisdom. So I want to make that distinction and clarity there, that we should run from things that have proven to be damaging, right? But when it comes to the healthy dynamics of love and the pain that sometimes comes with that, which we talked about in the last video from the last section of the book, we have to not get into a situation where we're running from everything, because we feel uncomfortable. We have to make that distinction between what is healthy, what is functional, and what is dysfunctional, and what is unhealthy, right? So how do we recover from this love PTSD where we're triggered so easily and we run away? How do we recover? We choose to heal. It's a conscious decision. We have to consciously choose to heal. We have to consciously choose to allow ourselves to heal, and it comes with trusting in the Most High. Yeah. So I'm going to keep reading here. It says, "Love has healed me in various ways, in various areas, in various parts of my being." Right? Various parts of my identity. A little bit here and a little bit there. Right? Little by little. It's not one encounter alone, but over time, my experiences of being loved and experiencing love have allowed wounds to heal and empty areas to be filled in. So we've experienced rejection, right? We've experienced neglect. We've experienced different things in our life. And sometimes the Most High will allow us to encounter a person or situation that will serve as a healing for what we've gone through in the past. And the Most High's math is way above our math, right? So he will orchestrate. So you may have gone through years of a certain type of abuse, but he'll orchestrate a situation that maybe one moment, could be one day, could be a very short period of time, but in that uh, designed place that he's cultivated and allowed and created, it will fill in and heal those wounds and restore you, put you back on solid ground, right? To give you an opportunity to move forward from a healthy place, right? So one situation, the Most High, you may have gone through all this rejection, but you may get into one relationship or one group of people where they just embrace you and they accept you and they speak life into you in a way that just fills you up, in the Most High, and with the help of the Most High, right? That situation will fill you up in a way that restores what had been broken in times past, right? So little by little, piece by piece, the Most High won't ever just have one person, typically, to do all, because then you get too attached to one person, and then you create an idol out of a person or out of a group, out of a situation, and that unhealthy dynamic we have to be careful of too, because once we're receiving something we never received before, we can grab hold of it in an unhealthy way, and now we make it an idol, right? And we start to look to that. So we always have to look to the Most High as being our source, right? But He will allow uh situations and people to come into your life to fill in those different areas, right? Right? Somebody might have told you that you were ugly and you were this and you were that, and that might have stuck into and became a part of your identity, but He'll allow people to come into your life to speak into you how beautiful you are, and how they appreciate you, uh and allow that to restore what was broken in an unhealthy way, right? And I'm talking about healthy dynamics again. The enemy will do these things too, so we have to be careful. The enemy will send people. The enemy always does this, right? He will send people to fill in those gaps, but these people are always going to be people that's going to break you even more, right? They come in because they see the opening, right? And because there's an opening, you allow the person to come in, and they see the opening, and they come in, but then they come in and they destroy you, right? The enemy sent them in to break you further. So, so that's why. So I'm the section I'm reading in this book now is the last section. I talk about 4 flows of love, right? There's 4 flows of love. There's first receiving Yah's love, then there's responding to Yah's love, and then there's loving self, right? And then we learn how to go through the dynamics of loving people, right? So it's important to go through that process, so that you have the right perspective and the right mindset. So when you get to dealing with people, you're coming from a healthy dynamic. You're coming from a healthy vantage point, right? You're coming from a stable place and not from just a place of brokenness. We want to put all our focus and attention on navigating with people, right? And we have not yet become a healthy and stable place in from the source of love. We have not allowed that process to go through, but we just jump right to dealing with people, and we continually get broken, over and over. So if you go through the book Remnant Love, it's going to walk you through those different stages, right? Those different phases and flows of love, so that by the time you get to this point, I'm going through something at the end, towards the end of the book, and dealing with people, it's gonna take you through that process, right? So, I said love has healed me in various areas of my being and parts of my identity, a little here and a little there. It's not one encounter alone, but over time, my experiences of being loved have allowed wounds to heal and empty areas to be filled in. So I've experienced this, and through the Most High doing it, right? So long as the Most High is the one that's at the driver's wheel, the Most High is driving the car, you're in the passenger seat, and every once in a while He'll stop and let another passenger in the back seat, come in and minister, you know what I mean? But He's driving, but He'll allow somebody to come in and minister to you, in an area that you need, and He'll allow another person to come in and minister to you in an area that you need to bring about this healing, right? So remaining open to engaging in a love exchange allows a life-giving flow to take place. But when we block or withhold love, we block life, right? So remaining open to these exchanges, right? Because sometimes the Most High let somebody in the car and you trying to kick them out. You like, nah, I want to ride alone. I'm just me and you, y'all. Let them, you don't need to put them in the car. But remaining open to engaging in a love exchange allows a life-giving flow to take place. But when we block or withhold love, we block life and find ourselves in a state of stagnation, right? We become stagnant. Just like stagnant waters that sit without a flow of water coming in and flowing out of it. So stagnant water, sits and it doesn't have flowing water coming in. It's not a moving water source, and there's no new water coming in, and then the stagnant old water can't flow out. So just like that, we risk becoming contaminated, right? Those waters are contaminated. They're not springs of water that you can drink from and be okay. Like, there's stagnant water, and you get the all kinds of stuff starts to grow on it, and it's not a good place to be able to drink from. So we don't want to become like that water and become stagnant and become contaminated. So then when others come to drink from our life, we unintentionally become ministers of death, right? We don't want to become a source and a spring of death. When other people come, the Most High brings people to us, and then you got people jumping out the car because we contaminated. They jumping out. The Most High invited them in, and they jump out the other door because they like, man, it stinks in here. Like, what's going on? This person is fighting me. What's going on here? I got to go. So we don't want to become ministers of death. Especially we have people who are literally ministers and in positions of leadership, whether over a family or over a assembly or over whatever, and they are pouring out death, and contamination based off of their areas of not being healed, right? So we have to allow the Most High to heal us. So to do that, we must create outlets for the old to be flushed out and for fresh new waters to have a space to flow into our lives, right? We have to allow that space for this stuff to get out, the old to get out, and for new to come in and flow in. As we crawl out of our shell and allow ourselves to engage in healthy interactions again, our old wounds often resurface, right? So in the healing process, it's not like we're healed. A lot of times the old wounds will resurface first, right? We have to endure the agitation of that exposure as the residue is revealed and cleansed away, right? We have to endure the agitation of that exposure, just like if you're trying to clean a wound, like there's going to be an agitation. There's going to be agitating. You know what I mean? As you're trying to, reveal that thing and clean it away. You're trying to get that residue out the way. So it's a revealing. There's an exposure, and you're going to feel exposed as you get into these environments. You may get into, if you're unhealthy, you get to a healthy environment. It's a healthy environment, but you're feeling some kind of way. You're feeling exposed. You're feeling inadequate. You're feeling, like you sticking out. You're feeling all these different things because it's exposing your areas that are wounded, but the Most High is exposing it to now cleanse it and seal it and cleanse it and heal it, to cover it, right? The Most High doesn't expose things in us to just have us out there. He's exposing to be able to cover, right? He's uncovering the unhealthy covering. He's taking off an unhealthy covering in order to cover it with healing, right? He's taking off that old dirty, thing that you've been, imagine you've gotten a cut or something or whatever, and you just grab a blanket, you grab something out your house, you grab all kinds of things to cover it up with, and then you go to the hospital. But they're going to have to take that off. Like, we're trying to do the right thing now to get this healed. So we're going to take that off, and it's going to be exposed for a moment, but now we're going to put the right things on it so that it can facilitate healing, right? We're going to cover it right so that it can heal correctly, right? So we have to endure the agitation of that exposure as the residue is revealed and cleansed away. That pain is a short-lived discomfort that you can trust, a byproduct of the process of healing and growth. It's a short-lived discomfort that you can trust. It's uncomfortable, but it's short-lived, and you can trust it, right? But you have to trust Yah first. You have to trust yourself first. A byproduct of the process of healing and growth is a byproduct. Like it's a part of the package. These new healthy encounters where we are treated with love serve as a healing balm to soothe and resolve those wounds, right? Again, go to the hospital. Now they're going to put some ointment on it, right? We're going to take off this stuff. You're going to be exposed. It's going to hurt. But we're going to wash it. But then we're going to put this healing balm on it, this healing topical ointment. We're going to put something on it. We're going to numb it. We're going to do whatever. We're going to put this ointment on it, and it's going to go to work, and it's going to be cool, and it's going to be soothing, and it's going to still hurt some, but it's starting to soothe, right? Right? We've become used to self-soothing by our coping mechanisms, by that blanket that we had wrapped around here that's not making it any worse, but it's stopping the bleeding, right? But it's not making it any better, but it's stopping the bleeding, right? We become used to the bleeding just being stopped. Like, just don't hurt me no more. Just don't touch it. I just don't want to feel no more pain. Don't touch me. I don't want to feel no more pain. So we get stuck in that portion right there, and we don't want to move further. It's just like, I'm good. Okay, the bleeding has stopped. I know it's an old rag. It's an old thing wrapped around here, but I'm good. Just let me be. But the Most High won't let you be because he loves us. So he's going to remove that. You got to deal with the agitation. Now get this healing balm on here. And now we get into a healthy place. Right? So these new encounters of love is going to serve as a healing balm. You're going to be like, okay, all right. I ain't want to come here. I ain't want to come with these people. I didn't, whatever, but okay. I'm starting to see, you get to see your areas where you have grown some, okay? You get to see, okay, there are some people out here that's okay, all right, You get to, see, okay, y'all got me. Most High Y'all has me, and I'm gonna be okay. You start to resolve some of those wounds. You start to get some revelations. You start to get some insight, okay? If we instead choose to hold on to our hurts and resist healing, we will end up hurting others because we are flowing out of an energy of hurt, right? So if we refuse the process, we're going to end up hurting others because we're flowing out of an energy of hurt, out of an energy of self-protection, right? We're flowing from, I'm hurt. We're flowing from, I'm trying to protect myself. I'm in self-protection mode. That's the energy I'm giving. We're flowing out of fear. Like, we're flowing out of fear. We're flowing out of vengeance, right? Like, I'm going to get back. Like, I'm giving you the energy that I got. We're flowing out of vengeance. Okay, we're flowing out of an energy of hurt, whatever flavor that may take on. Anger, roughness, Once we heal, however, we have the compassion, the insight, we have power, we have courage, and stability of character to pass healing energy on to the next person. So now, once we heal, we become a vessel of healing, right? It said Yahusha, he died and was risen, and now he became a life-giving spirit, right? So we want to die to those things that we talked about in the last video, and we want to be brought to life, our spirit, and become a life-giving spirit that's flowing in life and able to pass that on to others. So we want to heal so that when we encounter others, now we have stability. Now we have compassion for others because of what we've experienced and what we've grown through. We have insight into what that looks like. We can pass that insight on. We have power. We have courage. We're not afraid of people, right? We have power to endure and to stand in, right? We're stable. We can pass that on to the next person as we go through the process of healing. So that's really important if you're a leader or if you're in any kind of serving capacity, because you want to be that vessel of light in life and not one that is further facilitating hurt towards people. When you have a medical emergency, you're rushed to the hospital where the medical staff is going to stabilize you, right? Emergency, you go to the hospital, you're going to get stabilized. They create an environment that allows you to survive any life-threatening symptoms and manage any residual pain and discomfort without it threatening your stability of life. So when you go to an emergency room, they're trying to just stabilize you and make sure that you don't die, right? They're trying to get you to a stable place. So as the people of Yah, we need safe spaces of love to help weather the storm of life that threatens our well-being. Right? As the people of Yah, we need safe spaces of love to help weather the storms of life that threaten our well-being. We need stable people to hold us up in our time of need so that healing and restoration can take root and we can stand again. Love heals, and love is also the fruit of being healed because healed people are free to love. So as the people of Yah, we need a safe space. We should be able to come into the midst of each other, and weather those storms, those emergencies, that's threatening our well-being and our ability to move forward, and be able to be stabilized, get patched up so that we can keep going. So we need people that are stable enough to hold us up during those times, so we can get rooted again and stand, right? So it's important to first of all cultivate ourselves and walk through these flows of love so that we can become these stable and healthy people. The harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few because the laborers are all on the sidelines wounded, right? So we have to become healthy so that we can be these people and create environments that are healthy so that we can be these people, so that people are not ended up back in unhealthy situations because like we talked about earlier, there's that breach in the wall and there's nowhere to go other than unhealthy people trying to run into that breach because they see that hole, and they try to run back to it, and we end up receiving that again. But we need to be healthy places and not places where everybody's wounded and just re-damaging each other because we all are walking, refusing to heal. Right? We have to trust Yah. So, love heals, and love is also the fruit of being healed. Love heals people, and love is the fruit of being healed. Being healed brings forth our ability to love, right? So being loved allows people to be able to love, right? We give love to people, we allow them to be able to give love. It's a process, it's a cycle. Healed people are free to love, right? So as we grow and become established in the love of Yah, we become vessels of healing that He flows through. The love that He has worked in us stays with us, but also flows out to continue its work in those whom He calls to us. Make a decision today to be a minister of healing. Meditate on the relationships in your life and ask the Father to show you where you may be causing or deepening wounds. And we talked about that a little bit in the last video. Ask the Most High to show you. When the Most High loves us, that love flows through us, but it stays like we are continually receiving that love, and then we are able to allow that love to flow out to others. It's an overflow, right? When the cup overflows, it fills up and it's full, but then there's more to flow out for others to receive. Remember that our trust is not in man to heal us. And that's what I started off talking about. Our trust is not in man to heal us. Our security and trust rest in Yah to guide us on our journey. He orchestrates encounters with individuals who contribute to our growth. A little here and a little there. Our trust isn't placed in people to never let us down. Right? Our trust is not placed in people to never let us down, but in Yah, our firm foundation. He is our ultimate source. No individual serves as our sole source. Okay? That's important. We're not trusting that people aren't going to hurt us again. We're not trusting that people won't let us down again. We're trusting, we grow into the place by going through these 4 flows of love. We're growing to the place where our trust isn't placed in people, but in Yah, where Yah becomes our firm foundation. He's our source. And then no individual, again, will become our only sole source of love. Nurturing self-love and upholding our covenant love with Him is our place of safety in our home that we maintain. So we talked about throughout the other 3 flows of love how we're creating this home, right, where we're able to help house others, right? So we're creating this home, and the foundation is in Yah and in our love relationship with Him loving us loving Him, and through that love, us loving ourselves. Through that flow, So now we have a stable place to be able to deal with the love of others. So questions to ask yourself: am I providing a space for the people in my life to heal? Do I have a safe space to be open enough to heal? So am I providing a space for the people in my life to heal? Am I looking at things from their perspective where I'm providing a safe space, or the people can't deal with me because of things about me? Am I providing a safe space for people to heal? Am I able to hear people out? Have I developed that compassion, and am I exercising it, right? And do I have a safe space to be open enough to heal? Right? Do I have a safe space? Right? We have to seek out spaces. It's not easy to always find a safe space. Do I have a safe space where I can be open enough to heal? And am I avoiding healthy relationships because I don't want to feel the pain of growth? Again, we talked about that in the last chapter that dealt with, does love hurt? Like, am I avoiding healthy relationships because I don't want to feel the pain of growth? We don't want to be avoiding what is healthy for us, because we're going to stunt our own growth. Hallelujah. So that is the section called Love Heals in the book Remnant Love. I recommend getting the book and going through the all 4 of the flows of love so that you can build yourself up, and continue to grow in that. So, remnantlovebook.com or on Amazon. So I will see you in the next video. Blessings and shalom.